Things Disney doesn't want you to know? Part 9. So according to a legend, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney World is haunted by a worker that died there. So legend goes that a man named George was hired by Disney to help build this ride. But during the construction, he either fell off the set or was crushed by a set piece. It's still not clear. Either way, he died instantly. Now it's believed that George's ghost haunts the ride. As a result, workers at Disney always have to say "Good morning, George" and "Good night, George," or else he'll cause trouble for them. Like, all of a sudden the ride will malfunction or just stop working.
In 2001, Brandon Zucker was on the Roger Rabbit ride, which was already having maintenance issues. An employee put Brandon on the wrong side of the car, and when he put the lap band down, it didn't close all the way. So at one point in the ride, Brandon tumbled out of his seat and was hit by an oncoming car. The car pinned him and dragged him down the track before anyone could do anything. Also, at the time, Disney employees were not allowed to call 911. They had to call park emergency services, who then called 911, so it took a while for anyone to come get Brandon. He did survive the accident, but he had brain damage so bad he was nonverbal and lost a lot of motor skills for the rest of his life.
Today, let's talk about the mysterious disappearance of Rebecca Corium. Rebecca Corium was a 24-year-old worker on the Disney Wonder cruise ship. On March 22, 2011, while working on the cruise ship, Rebecca disappeared without a trace. This is one of the last photos taken of her, and it was from CCTV footage. At 5:45 a.m. that morning, footage revealed Rebecca talking on the phone with someone. She seemed visibly distressed. Now here's where it gets twisted. Many people believe that Disney knows exactly what happened to Rebecca, but are trying to cover up this whole thing. Let me explain. For starters, the captain of the ship said that Rebecca was just washed over by a big wave. They then gave Rebecca's parents a sandal and said that this was hers and it was retrieved from the deck that she was last seen on. Number 1, the sandal wasn't her size. Number 2, it wasn't her style. It was also revealed that Disney had edited the CCTV footage. Corium Part 2. Basically, Rebecca was a worker for a Disney cruise ship and she disappeared one night without a trace. And Disney's covering it up. Basically, what I said in my last video is that Disney lied to Rebecca's parents, and they edited the CCTV footage of her. Why would they do this, you may ask? Well, how bad would it look if one of their employees died on their cruise ship? The captain lied and said that Rebecca was just washed away by a big wave from a storm that night. Well, guess what? There was no storm that night. A worker on the Disney cruise ship that actually knew Rebecca said that Disney knows exactly what happened. They have CCTV footage of it. They're just refusing to show anyone. He went on to say, "There's CCTV footage everywhere. How did they not know what happened to Rebecca after that phone call?" So basically, it's thought that Disney knows exactly what happened to her. They're just covering it up so that they don't damage their reputation, which is super messed up. I just hope that one day we can get justice for Rebecca.
1981, Disneyland had its first murder. This incident at the California park involved a teenager named Mel Yorba. Mel and his friends were enjoying the day at the park, though they were heavily intoxicated. Mel decided to pinch the bottom of a girl who he didn't know, and she was with her partner James O'Driscoll. James demanded an apology, but when Mel didn't give that, a physical altercation broke out. And as a result of the altercation, Mel got stabbed twice in the chest. And because Disney wanted to keep up the facade of being a magical, happy place, they did not call an ambulance for Mel. It was actually against policy at the time for police or ambulances to be called to the park. So instead, Disney had one of their nurses attend to Mel's stab wounds. A little while later, police had to send an unmarked van to go get Mel and take him to the hospital. But by then, it was already too late. He was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. And Mel's family filed and won a $60 million lawsuit against Disney.
Today, let's talk about the tragic death of 𝐤𝐵𝐴𝐴 𝐤𝐵𝐴𝐴 started working at Disney in 1995. Eventually, he became a character actor at Disney and would play the role of Pluto. Sadly, in February of 2004, 𝐤𝐵𝐴𝐴 lost his life while in costume as Pluto. This happened during the Dreams Come True parade at Magic Kingdom. He was in costume ready to enter the parade when his foot got caught on a float. It was a 3-part float and his foot got caught between the second and third sections of the float. When the float began to move, his body got twisted around and he fell. He was then struck and killed by the third section of the float. It was so bad that they had to use a forklift and hydraulic lift to get the vehicle off of him. Now this all happened in the backstage area of the parade, so thankfully no visitors saw. It was such a tragic incident and Disney was actually fined for this. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration came for Disney saying that they didn't have enough safety protocols.